a real treat as part of our ADF Talks series this year. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Melinda Nusofora. I'm a senior foreign correspondent with TRT World based in Istanbul. But as I've just been discussing with our two special guests, I'm originally from Australia, a long way from home, but loving my life in Turkey, so thank you for having me. Turkey's first homegrown battery-powered vehicle is the pride of Turkish motoring. I was actually at the launch of the TOGG vehicle prototype in 2019, reporting for TRT World, and I can attest to the absolute excitement in that room. I've never seen grown men so excited to push each other out of the way to get a photo with a car. Usually it's with a statue of a footballer or maybe a football trophy, but this, everyone wanted to get close to the TOGG. TOGG and Turkey's AI transformation has come a long way since that day, and to talk to us more about it, we are very pleased to welcome to the Antalya Diplomacy Forum Mr. Gürcan Karakaş, the CEO of the Turkish mobility technology company TOGG. Thank you for being here, sir. And along with him on stage is Professor Dr. Şahin Albayrak, who holds various roles at the Berlin Technical University, including as founder and head of the Distributed Artificial Intelligence Laboratory. Professor, thank you for being here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, TOGG has already delivered 20,000 units so far and plans to launch in Europe by 2025. So let's talk about smart mobility, how it's transforming the way we move and the way we live and the way we interact with our surroundings. So before we get too deep into that, I just want to bring up something with you, Mr. Karakaş, about something you mentioned in a recent interview with TRT World. You said that many people told you your mission was impossible when you started 5.5 years ago with TOGG. Why did they think that, and how did you prove them wrong?
Melinda, thank you for asking this question. Indeed, if there is something, especially in our case, where the country was dreaming of for more than 60 years, and there were also some earlier attempts, and unfortunately they were not successful. So we learned that it is difficult and it's most probably not possible. So I think this is the reason of that. On the other side, there's a very famous German saying, it is impossible because somebody else didn't do it before. Yeah? So if you look into this technology, honestly, it is, though not the rocket science, it is an organizational planning and preparation and execution topic. So that was the reason why I was saying, so it is possible. Even the word impossible says, if you look in the letters, I am possible.
And you proved them wrong. We're happy to say so. Professor Albayrak, how do you see AI advances enhancing our mobility, and how does that integrate with the digital sort of transformation the world is seeing?
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, our automotive industry facing one of the largest challenge. Meaning of them, in the future, we will digitalize. One hand, we will replace conventional components through the digitalized components. That means reduce the number of the components what we are deploying in our vehicles. Giving that as fact, another issue is we have to work on the new, let's say, new engine, which is not conventional engine. It has to be some new kind of the engine. Nobody now, right now, all of us, we are believing electrical engine will be one of them. We have different type of the battery technologies, such as battery, what we are using in our mobile phone, in our smartphones. On the other hand, researchers are working on the new kind of the battery, which calls solid state battery, which is very promising technology. The Japanese, they are working on them together with Germany. I'm from Germany. We are one of the largest automotive country. We are the leading country. We have tried to keep our position. We believe that our vehicles will be digitalized. The meaning of them, we will equip our vehicles with LiDAR, radars, different type of the sensors, cameras, computing and communications infrastructure. The next
You mean
big
they're going to interact with our
exactly. The
surroundings?
next big thing is for us AI. That means we are working on brain model which allowed our vehicle to behave like a human. That means to perceive the environment, to predict what will happen in the future, to plan and to control them, to control the action. And additional to them has to be able to explain us their action, which, I mean, as you know, the acceptance is one of the major issue for the autonomous mobility. We believe that with the progress what we have in AI, with we have in the computing technology, allowed us to develop new brain model which has capability like the human-like capability. And that's that's our main goal. The second it is I am discussing very often with my friend Gürcan. The next big thing, giving that as fact, that everything is will be digitalized. That means we will have vehicle without steer. That means we will have in the future, we call them smart mobility device, independent of them size. That means independent of the size, it can be bus. For example, we digitalized in Germany, in Berlin, 12-meter passenger bus, and digitalize them, which is able to drive autonomously. In the next 5 till 10 years, we will expect vehicles without steer. That means we are talking about smart mobility device, giving that as fact. We expect it from the vehicle. It has to be very smart, likely human. And second big challenges will be, that is what we are discussing with Gürcan Bey, it has to provide us very useful assistant functionality which you can use in their vehicles. That means that is the future what we see in Germany, what we are addressing.
I'm just going to pause one moment. I'm just going to with regards to that sort of advanced technology within a vehicle, is that something you visualize for TOGG? Are we going to have a TOGG without a steering wheel?
First of all, it will come, yet not soon. So the thing is, especially the new state-of-the-art mobility devices, and by the way, we do not call them anymore cars, because it's really far more than a car, and they need to be designed as a completely different animal. So they need to be designed as a consumer electronics good. Yeah. So if you are thinking of, I have this metal box and I can make it more intelligent, and they will provide me then later this independently self-driving car, this will not happen. So because, as the professor said, we need not only the computing power and not only the sensor technology, we need all the connectivity, we need the cloud computing topics, we need the remote diagnostics, we need every single thing what the consumer electronics needs in a large scale, in a multiple scale, in a multiple dimension. So, and therefore the design of that is a completely different one. And in the design, since it's a consumer electronics product, it starts with you guys here, yeah, because the users need define what it is at the end. Today, I mean, some 50,000 engineers design a four-wheel metal box, and we buy them, and nobody is really asking what the user need is. The user need is the seamless, smart, moving from A to B as a completely different living space experience. So, and this is what's going to come, and therefore, I believe companies not only envisaging this, also executing this, planning this, getting prepared for this, not only with themselves, with an entire ecosystem, because it's not anymore the size of the companies. It's about how they collaborate with their environment, how they put the technologies together. So the times or the ages where one company was able to do everything by themselves is completely over. And therefore, size in that sense really doesn't matter anymore in our industry, in the new mobility industry. And the collaboration is as important as how we define the products, the way of collaboration with startups, basically.
And so when we have collaboration in mind, what is the driving force, do you think, behind Turkey's automotive transformation? Its willingness to adopt this new breed of vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, if we started our journey, as we started our journey, we simply look what do we have in our hands, yeah, as Turkey. So we have a 60 years of background, history of automotive manufacturing, or partly also in commercial vehicles, product development experience. And on the other side, besides these supplier infrastructure, we have a very young population. They are very good in programming, in coding. We have unicorns in gamification. We have unicorns in e-commerce and e-business. And if you look into the details of this user-centric smart vehicle, it needs gamification, it needs fintech, it needs insurtech, it needs even blockchain, smart contracting, and this is something which is not available at the automotive industry at all. It is available in Turkey. So therefore, we believe we are starting at the right time, at the right place, with the right product scope, and going into that journey.
Professor, thinking of that sort of technology that we've just been discussing, can you describe for us what this smart city of the future looks like? It seems like a fantasy, but it's surely not that far away.
No, not far away. I mean, under the word smart city, we are understanding a system which has different components, where the component closely coupled, such as smart buildings, smart infrastructure, smart energy, and smart mobility. The meaning of them, they have to adapt to each other. In the future, we are interested in this, to have a city where we can increase the quality of life. How can translate the quality of life? That means we would like to have a city without traffic jam, without noise.
Yes, please, coming from Istanbul.
With better to contribute to the let's say climate sustainability is another issue for us, and provide different types of services, and try to avoid accidents. That is what we are interested in, what we are expecting from smart city. We believe with the mobility we can contribute to them, and the question is how we can contribute to them. When we have a vehicle which is very smart, which is connected with the environment, where the environment, let's say from the vehicle or from the digitalized environment, where we can get additional information to use the information for our perception, and we can provide, let's say, better decisions and implement smarter behavior, and we can try to adapt to the sustainability, to contribute to sustainability, try to increase the quality of life, try to avoid traffic jam, and try to provide additional services for the society, for the people who are living in the city. I mean, nobody likes a city where the city makes the people ill. That is that situation what we have right now with the smart mobility. From the future vehicles, we expected the thing what we call smart mobility device be very smart, to sense the environment and to adapt, to process the information and to act, try to contribute to the environment. That is what we are expecting from our smart future cities in Germany. We are working on that issue, as even German government has initiated one of the largest initiatives. We established in Germany a center which calls German Center for Tangible AI and Digitalization, where we are working on brain model for future vehicles, scalable brain model where we can scale up, scale down, scale up, meaning of them. That means we can deploy the brain for the bus, for the largest passenger bus. Scale down, we can adapt to them delivery robots, which is smaller one. And from all of them, we expect very smart behave, and they have to contribute to the environment. That is very important for us.
Yes, it's in interplay.
Exactly.
You mentioned interconnectivity, Gürcan Bey, when you're talking about technologies. So in what ways is TOGG contributing to a smart technology explosion in Turkey? You know, you're not just a car company, as you say. In what ways are you driving technology development outside of your business?
So, starting as a smart device design requires, first of all, that we need to go away from today's electronic architecture and the software architecture of classical cars. So means we brought together a team who are able to do zone computers out of that central computers. Why is that important? This is important in order to increase the processing power, the computing power of the entire device, and at the same time having the connectivity to the cloud, not only remote diagnosing it, also remote updating it, and also remote helping to steer are things which, again, are the core technologies of new state-of-the-art mobility. So, and we have a team for this, and our team is meanwhile close to 1,000 engineers, and 200 of them are really working on this hardware embedded software topics, coming from the aviation and also from the defense industry. You know, remember you said, what do we have in our hands as Turkey? We have them. So brilliant engineers. So, and out of this, we are working with number of startups. We have scanned more than 1,000 startups all over the world, the majority also being Turkey and Europe. So, and with 30 of them, we have already onboarded, handshaken situation where they are already in our ecosystem. So what can we do with them, for example? Today, we can, or we did already, let me start there, we did pre-sell the 177,000 T10Xs last year via one single app online. Never happened before in the entire world. Yeah? So second, today, if you want to decide to buy this device, also at that time, you can, within minutes, make your configuration and decide to buy, and after buying, you can do all your insurances whatsoever, everything on an app. So means we are, if this is contributing to the quality of life, because I'm saving time, it's hassle-free, it's safe and secure. So we have there a kind of a banking system behind. So, and these are the new technologies which come up into the front to the users, and we simply need use cases for this, platforms for this. And TOGG in that sense is one of the use case platforms where the new technologies, also coming from the startups, from new companies, are enabling a smarter life, a quality of life, which we were not experiencing so far.
With all these advances, Professor, privacy comes to mind for me when you're talking about devices interacting with buildings and everything around you. Is privacy and information sharing a concern?
Exactly. I mean, if you are digitalizing, you are opening another door for threat. That is spying information, and that's one hand, and attacking them, opening the door for the cyber security. The question is how the future vehicles can be equipped with the new kind of the security solution which use the AI in order to predict threat in advance to initiate countermeasure. That is the thing what the countries has to work on them. And that's what we are working on them. As I mentioned, we digitalized one bus in Germany. We are in belong of 8 different autonomous vehicles. And one of them where we are proud of them, it is 12-meter bus, the bus is able to drive fully autonomous. And the other thing is the bus is able to explain. That means you can ask the bus while you are driving on the street where they're allowed to drive 50 while you are driving with 20. The bus is able to explain that to you why he's slower. And the same is for cybersecurity. We have on cybersecurity and privacy, we have to try to explain, as some of you know, right now it is AI. We have another technology which we call explainable AI. It is a new models, new methods, and why we are using them. Of course, all of our vehicles, they are collecting a lot of data. For example, with one tour, we are collecting more than 10 terabyte data. The question is what will happen with the data?
Yes.
That means you have to anonymize them, you have to protect them, and you have to use them data for the label the data in real time, build model, provide the model. You have to make sure that nobody can extract additional information from the model. It's very important for the countries and for the society. It is you can say it is showstopper for the acceptance. We have to solve them. We are working on that in Germany. We are working on that issue.
And what about with TOGG? How much of an issue is privacy and cybersecurity when you're dealing with people's data and the data that you're sharing with perhaps smart infrastructure?
Yep. First of all, the Turkish laws, as far as I have this, meanwhile, overseen, I can compare it with the European ones from my previous professional life. They are more stringent than in Europe, first of all. So as long as you give your consent, and this is the key topic, as long as you give your consent, it can be really separated and secure. There are different ways of this. Technically, some of the technologies have been mentioned by the professor. And second, are those technologies available in Turkey? Yes, definitely yes, because this is basically nothing else than the cryptology what is used in the defense industry. Yeah? So, and there Turkey is far ahead. So, and therefore, it's not about this cryptology topic. It's about how do you want to partition your entire hardware and software? Where do you put your hypervisor? Where do you put your accessible parts? And from where you drive the device side, in quotation marks, the intelligent car side, and on the other side, how do you drive the cloud connectivity side? So, and if you separate it very clearly, and as long as I said, give your consent, then we can help to provide solutions. I think the topic is mixed up with following thing. Yeah. So, and this is the basic difference between Turks and Germans. For example, in Turkey, if you download an app, the rate of saying yes to the default settings is 60% and more, and in Germany is less than 30% and less. Yeah, so 30% and less, and this is the discrepancy. We believe if I give consent and make my part of my data available where probably I do not think is in that sense private, I can get for that something. I'm not talking about everything is free of charge and I myself, I'm the product and they do offer me something. I'm talking about controlled data. So what can be a controlled data, for example, in our case? For example, let's take a location-based service from TOGG in this device. We are moving from A to B. This has been planned as A to B, and via the route planning, because I made my preferences, I will be soon able to collect, for example, credits, in quotation marks. We can name them whatever it is. We will call them later tokens, because no, we will tokenize them, yeah? And that token's name will be token, so you will collect tokens. And with that token would be, for example, if you are not getting flashed, if you are not parking false, if you are holding or resting in the locations where they care for the environment, for the green world, and they contribute to this world, you will get additional tokens. So as long as you go to the TrueGo, is the, by the way, 100% TOGG ultra-fast charging service, we 100% charge renewable energy, 100%. So if you go to 100% renewable energy charging, then you get some more tokens. So at the end, you collect tokens or you collect credits where you can convert it. You can, while driving, maybe you are shopping and you can shop with it, or again charge. So these are things at the end or under the bottom line. It helps also all of us to be a good citizen collectively. So no, is this good that I give away where I'm driving to? For me, no. So everybody should do it, because with that we can improve all together. So, and for certain perspectives, my privacy. I don't want to tell anyone where I'm going. So it's everyone's own choice.
It is a toss-up. We are almost out of time, and by almost I mean we have 1 minute left. So I'm going to very, very briefly ask both of you if in just a couple of sentences, if you can just tell our audience what you are most excited about when you think of smart technology and enhanced mobility cities. For you first, sir.
I will come from the technology side again. I'm amazed of the potential of the entire smart contracting, what it can bring to a living space. So since we consider the smart device also a living space, not only traveling from A to B, this mobility living space will be completely disrupted with the smart contracting, which is the blockchain technology. And I really recommend to every young people here to have a look, have an understanding, and if they have the chance, to study that.
Absolutely. And Professor, just very briefly, what are you most excited about?
I'm excited to have a solution for autonomous vehicles, which has very smart behavior, like a human, can contribute to increase quality of life, one hand, but to contribute to the sustainability, which is very important for us.
Indeed. I wish we had more time, but unfortunately we don't. Gürcan Karakaş and Professor Şahin Albayrak, thank you so much for your very interesting contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, Arinda.